I'm here to tell you that the vast majority of your physical and even mental issues can be helped and even in some cases completely resolved if you give your liver the attention that it needs. So, my foundation in Ayurveda is the oldest healing system on the planet, and the concepts are as true today as they were 5,000 years ago. And it's a living science, so we definitely need to apply the principles to the current time. And especially, maybe not only, but definitely, especially in the US, we are seeing now that, thank goodness, Secretary Kennedy is helping clean out the food supply and, just the careless pharmaceutical interventions that are offered to us. And I'm not here to tell anyone exactly what to do. I am not a medical doctor, therefore, I am offering information from a natural health perspective. I'm a certified natural health and wellness coach and Ayurvedic lifestyle instructor, meditation instructor. Just, I'm an herbalist. I tend to gravitate towards natural healing because I believe that is the only way we can actually get true healing. And like most people, and certainly probably just about all people who get into a health regime, have gone through some type of trauma themselves, yours truly included. And after all the years, I've been studying close to 20 years, all of these, different modalities. I just tend to flow where my attention takes me. But I always kind of run it through that foundation of Ayurveda. And so, we have dis-ease manifest in different parts of our bodies because according to Ayurveda, it all starts in a very similar pattern, but we each have different weaknesses. So maybe in some people, when it finally gets to the point of settling in an organ or a gland system in the body, some people it might be the thyroid or it might be the heart. But what I've learned and now really is key to my work with everybody is don't worry about getting a diagnosis because it's really not helpful. And what I have seen, and even what I was just really happy to hear, one of my teachers, I've been taking some new courses this week, and he just said what literally I've come to my own realization is that just about any disease can be helped by cleansing the liver. And, the liver has over 500 functions that it is constantly in charge of. It's such an interesting, it's actually an organ and a gland. And it's the only one that can actually regenerate on its own, but not, if you keep having the same thing, it's because you're not allowing the liver to function optimally. And so, what I like to I like to tell people that, like, if they're having any issue, and it could be on an extreme end of the spectrum, or the beginning, just general malaise, fatigue, or having some people really like to get testy. I used to do that too, but I found it actually very unhelpful, completely useless, in my opinion, because they're not, that you might get a test on that particular day, or maybe it's even more concrete than that. But really, the solution is you must help your body clear the channels. So in Ayurveda, we have channels all over the body. Specifically, we have 72,000 originating all sort of kind of in and behind the umbilicus, but that's not really what we're focusing on because that includes a lot of subtle energy channels. The main one is literally mouth to anus because what we take in our body has to digest and assimilate. And if there is a problem in the liver, then you're going to have problems all the way downstream, which will give you problems upstream. It was so interesting for me to learn that, like, really, people don't have necessarily thyroid problems. It's the thyroid is a very sensitive gland, and if the liver is unable to do its phases of detoxification that are absolutely necessary for the body to function well, then then these other systems weaken and they fail. And depending on your particular makeup, your way of going out of balance can be different than, someone else that you're even living with. And maybe y'all are even doing a lot of the same things and eating the same things, but maybe one person has a heart issue and another person, has severe, mental issues. It again needs to begin with clearing the liver. And this is why I really love helping people detoxify. It's kind of becoming where I focus my work, but I do life coaching. But even that, if someone is experiencing certain types of emotions out of balance, so often when you can start getting your liver cleansed and functioning optimally, the mental issues will normalize. And of course, there is a mental digestion and assimilation. So it's, what I really started with was getting certified to teach meditation, because I really needed some help with just my own anxiety. But, I had a not good, I learned later, my liver just was not functioning properly. If you have skin issues, it's going to be liver and gut related. Your skin, I recently learned, actually has the ability to do some of the same processes that the liver does. And if the liver gets overloaded, then, your body is doing what it needs to do, and that is pushing it out to the skin, which is very unpleasant, because that is my way of going out of balance, and it is not fun, I can tell you. And so, there's ways in our lifestyle, certainly, that we support our liver. So I never look at anything as just a one and done. You really need to focus on all areas. So in Ayurveda, that would be the physical body, the energy body, the mental and emotional body, the intuitive body, and then just, when all of that's well, it's more of your spiritual and bliss body that you can access. And so you might you weave these practices in. But personally, what I'm seeing today is people really are not able to access how to work with their energy and spirit body enough if they're not starting with the physical body. So we really do need to get that dialed in, not only with what we're eating, but in training with nature's rhythms. We're diurnal. We are on the circadian rhythm. We're wired a certain way. And so, I sort of work in all of these areas. And the thing that I find the hardest is people get really freaked out. They'll start taking a supplement, and then their body is responding, and sometimes it doesn't feel good. And so then it's, oh, I can't take that supplement, when actually, why aren't you saying that about all the things that contributed to why you are down at the bottom of your well anyway? So rather than saying the supplement's causing this, look at the lifestyle choices that you made as the cause to have created your chronic illness, or your anxiety, or your depression, or your massive digestive problems. This is something that you have to step into with a new mindset. And so it's not in the mindset of take this pill for the symptoms and it'll make you feel better, because that's not dealing with the root cause. And what I'm sharing in this video is, I'm not saying there aren't other areas you want to address, but the liver is always involved. It's why take, if you've heard of the Gerson Center in Mexico that was really becoming famous for curing cancer. You know what? They completely were addressing the liver by giving their patients 5 coffee enemas a day, up to 5 coffee enemas. Why? Because your portal vein, like in your rectum, it's a two-way street with your liver. Actually, your liver gets most of the blood from that portal vein. It's quite interesting. And so when you are stimulating, say with a specific type of coffee for an enema, you're getting your liver to produce glutathione, which is the most detoxifying substance in our bodies. And so, and then they also pretty much get off solid foods for a while. Why? Because in order to heal, you have digestion takes an enormous amount of our strength. I know when I am needing to do a liver cleanse, by when I eat, I get really tired. That is a sure sign. And so it's just time to do some more in-depth liver cleansing. There are all kinds of protocols that I can help you with, but I urge everyone to start taking this seriously and to work with me or someone like me who can walk you through the process, because it really does take some hand holding. It takes, you're going to go through highs and lows, and you may not understand them. So it's really helpful to have someone who has walked the walk, has learned, because truly detoxification starts with education. An Ayurvedic practitioner who is true to Ayurveda, the Ayurvedic doctor would always say, a true doctor educates the patient. It's not just handing them something to heal their problem, because you have to be involved. You have to be involved with your own health and your own cleansing. And it's really important. And myself, I have invested a lot of my time and money in learning. And I am now a passionate teacher, as well as someone who's practicing and continuing to learn all the time. So this is just it's my dharma, it's my purpose, it's the thing I actually enjoy geeking out about, is learning about this stuff, because I want to help people. And one ending on this, all of our organs and systems have emotions attached. It's really true. You cannot separate the body and mind. And the liver, guess what, is when it's imbalanced, is the anger organ. And so when I see so much anger in the world, I literally am thinking, these people need to do liver cleansing. Because, and you know what, when I was really out of balance, it was, I would experience like that anger, and I hated it. Like, I didn't like having that feeling. But when your liver is not optimal, and that can be from stress, it can be from all the horrible chemicals that we're bombarded with in our food and our environment. It can be with people, too many substances, too much alcohol, too much whatever, but, stress is a big deal. And that's what they, have identified as the non-alcohol fatty liver. And I was dealing with some of that. So it's really, really worth your while. You deserve it. You need to take a leap of faith that really getting into these cleansing practices are extremely helpful. Sometimes people notice things quickly, but I can tell you from my own experience and what I've watched, it's a journey. Like, you can start getting good results, but you must keep on it. And so it's really a gift you're giving yourself. Investing in yourself is, I am clear about this, it's the most important investment you can make. You will save money down the road. These kinds of practices are not offered, they're not going to be covered by insurance. So like me, everyone else, it's like you're kind of hesitant. Oh, but my insurance covers that. That is part of the problem. I had to finally just really get clear. I'm not going where my insurance covers. I am worth investing in myself and learning and doing, literally doing the practices that involve unpleasant reactions and feelings sometimes, because when you're cleansing these organs, there are emotions that are stored in them. So you might wake up and just feel depressed one day without having a reason. And when you have this knowledge, you realize, oh, I am actually having die off, I'm cleansing, it's okay, it doesn't have to be scary. And then you just gently support yourself. So this is just a little nutshell of hopefully inspiring you to start taking action. And I would love to talk to you. I would love to offer you, just a free, I think they're called discovery calls. I don't really like formulas, but that's what everybody knows these days. Just a free call with me, of probably a half an hour. And it's not going to be a full consult. I do charge for that. But I do like to offer kind of how I work, see what the resonance is, see if we're a good fit, and kind of lay out, options. And another thing, I know I said I was finishing, I really will wrap up with this. Just like our spiritual journey, there are different roads to get there, but we get to the same place. It can be the same with detoxification. So that's why I really like to work with people, because you're gonna start tuning into more of your intuitive body, and you're going to be, I can offer some options. There's some practices that are, core, but there are, I call myself a resource queen because there's so much junk out there in the supplement world. Often you are buying something that may just have a trace of what it says. So that's another reason why it's good to work with a professional such as myself. And not all professionals actually do the vetting that I do, but I really, it's intuitive. I go with teachers who I trust implicitly, and that's kind of how I do my vetting process. So, you may not be getting results because maybe what you're taking isn't working, because it doesn't have enough or maybe the right form of what you need. So I look forward to hearing from you. My name is Candace. My business is Candace Claire. I have a website, Candace at swansage.com. So the overall name of my business is Swan Sage, but really it's best to, you can email me, and that would be Candace at swansage.com. If you message me, then I will give you my phone number for text, because that actually is the quickest response you'll get from me. But no matter what, I hope you're inspired to really not just Band-Aid and not freak out about chasing down disease, because that in itself is constricting of the mind. I don't even like to know the names of things, because basically all you need to do is really begin cleansing and kind of repairing your body. All right, thanks so much.